is magical. It's not going to slow you down and make you feel sleepy. It actually helps you stay focused and energized, but it takes away the anxiety, the anxious feelings.
You're listening to Essential Oil Conversations, the podcast for busy women who love natural living, friendship, and a little bit of entrepreneurship too.
All right, Heather, what are we talking about today?
We are talking about back to school, and today was my daughter's first day of 6th grade when we are recording this, and we have already taken advantage of several doTERRA products with back to school.
I love that. I love that. What good timing, too. We did not plan this. Well, maybe you planned this. I did not realize that today would be her first day back to school when we planned to do this today, so that's cool.
Yes, I think our recording timing worked out well. So it started already with last night because, of course, we wanted her to get a good night's sleep. She's been on a summer schedule, staying up late, waking up late, and we've been trying to transition to waking up earlier. This morning was going to be her first day with an alarm again, and so we needed her to go to bed last night. As soon as we brushed teeth and got ready for bed, she applied her Serenity stick, and then she put Peace Roller on, and she laid there, and I think she did some drawing or reading or something for a little while just to kind of calm herself down. But it was important for her to at least start this morning with a good night's sleep, and she woke up cheery and ready to go, so I would say it was successful.
That's awesome. That's really good. I'm curious, since you said this is the first time to wake up with an alarm, but y'all have been trying to prepare her, so how are you preparing her? Were you the alarm?
So she has previously tried alarms before this, and they end up going off indefinitely, and somebody has to go up there and get her up. And so it didn't necessarily work. So last night we went over how to turn the alarm off and, how that was going to work. And she did it successfully on her own. So obviously She's a middle schooler now, Meg, so she's got this down.
Yeah. Well, that's just so crazy that she's a middle schooler now. How did we get so old?
We're not getting older, just they are.
Okay, good point. I believe that.
So this morning she had a good breakfast. We had already prepared her backpack last night so that would not be a stressful point this morning. She is at a school with a uniform, so we didn't necessarily have to put much planning into that, but she did pick out what she wanted to wear last night. We knew how the hair was going to be styled, so all of the things that we could set up for success, we did. However, at back to school night the other night, she started complaining that she was having some chest pain. She couldn't take a big, deep breath. Well, I knew she was nervous, and so we talked about how to calm herself down, and she did fine that day. So this morning, my husband was taking her to school, and she called and said, I'm having that chest pain. I can't take a big breath. And I said, I think I saw that you have an adaptive roller in your backpack. Why don't you apply some of that? Take some deep breaths, do any of the techniques that you know that work for you just to kind of ground you or calm you down, because I think it's stress. I think you're nervous. It's all going to be fine. And so she said, okay. And she was going to put that on and get going with her day. She's going to be fine, right? Like anytime we do something new, it makes us nervous. We're a little scared. She is an actress, and she is always trying to entertain others. She's going to be fine.
She is, but I love that she's got tools to help with that. And really, adaptive is amazing, not just for back to school, but for any area of life where you're feeling a little overwhelmed. And you and I have talked multiple times. This definitely wouldn't be for kids back to school, but maybe just even for moms. Maybe it's their kids' first time to go to school and mom's feeling the overwhelm and stress. That adaptive pill is magical. It's not going to slow you down and make you feel sleepy. It actually helps you stay focused and energized, but it takes away the anxiety, the anxious feelings with it. So highly recommend that as well.
I completely agree. And you and I are both in busy seasons of life. And even over the summer, I had a lot going on, and I have taken the adaptive pill several times this summer when I felt exactly what you mentioned, overwhelm. I think that's the key word of when I use the pill. I also have rolled on the adaptive roller several times when I am just kind of starting to feel exactly what my daughter described of not being able to catch my breath because I just feel too much. Too much is
Yeah.
going on. I've got too much to think about, too much to worry about. And so I will roll this on. And I definitely think the roller helps significantly. And then for the, older teens or adults, I think that the pill works great as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's currently on repeat order for us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did not pack her backpack with that. She put that and then she put the On Guard sanitizing spray in her backpack on her own. And so I just happened to notice it in there when I was putting some other stuff in her backpack. So she included that herself, which I like that she is self-aware enough to know that she could benefit from that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, kind of along the lines of adaptive, I love Thinker. And so Thinker is one of the kids' blends that helps with focus and thinking clearly. But I honestly, as an adult, love it as well. And so years back when I was going back to school for nutrition, Thinker was brand new at that time. And I used it every time. Multiple of my classmates used it as well, especially during like exam time. You just roll it on and it really does help you just focus in on what you need to get done. So I would highly recommend that, and probably all of the kids line for back to school, but that one specifically great for anybody who needs to like focus and think through things.
Yeah. And then already I plan on having the diffuser going when she gets home, something uplifting. Citrus Bliss is one of her favorites. And so I think we'll have that going just so we can kind of set the mood for this afternoon where she doesn't feel immediately stressed or we have some breakdown from our safe space or whatever. So we'll get that going. But then you also were going to share one of our favorite snacks that I feel like this is so good for back to school as well.
Yeah. And it's so simple. So what you do is you get apples, you slice them up, and then you add them to water and add just a drop of On Guard to the water and shake it around, let them sit for maybe 10 minutes. You don't have to sit for very long. And honestly, I'll say this as well. I say a drop, there's a good chance 2 or 3 drops will fall out, and that's totally fine too. But the apples kind of absorb the essential oil, and the essential oil is going to help boost the immune system. But then also it flavors the apples. So it's just a hint of like that yummy fall, because it's got the cinnamon, it's got the wild orange in there, all those yummy flavors. And then I personally like to top it with almond butter. And so now it's a really good, well-balanced, nutritious snack for people too, because you got the fiber with the apples, you've got carbs with the apples as well, you've got protein and fat with the nut butter, and it's a really great flavor combo, really satisfying snack. So recommend that. One other cool thing with doing that is the apples aren't going to start turning brown as quickly either. And so the essential oil protects them from that, just like it's protecting the insides of your body. So yeah.
And it's tasty. Kid approved.
Yes, it is. Kid and adult approved.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anything else you can think of for back to school?
There is a whole line of On Guard products, and I have spoke with many teachers that will say that they just kind of diffuse the On Guard in their classroom at the beginning of the year. I think for teachers or school staff, I think it's important for their immune systems to stay healthy as strong as well. The kids line, like you mentioned, does have an oil for kids specific called Stronger, but my kids have always kind of just gone back and forth between the On Guard or the Stronger. But I think back to school is not just obviously about the kids, but the caregivers and the instructors too. So I think it's important for everybody to get a good night's sleep, keep their immune system boosted, and then find ways to de-stress. And doTERRA has products for all those things.
They do. And on their blog, they've got all kinds of cool DIYs. So if you are a DIYer and want to include your kid in the DIYing, go check that out as well. All right. Well, for our next episode, we're going to be talking about In Tune, which is kind of the adult version of Thinker. So kind of perfect building on this one as well. So we hope you listen into that. Thanks so much for listening.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.